Welcome to Writer's Mind. I'm your host, CP Lois. Today I want to start a series of exploring the publishing world. Today's just an intro, but it's going to be 4 segments. Obviously, this one's the intro and some other news. And then we're going to get into traditional self-publishing and vanity. I'm going to share what I've learned about it. Since I've been writing since 2010, so I would share what I've learned about all 3 of them. I'm going to share any updates on it, like what I've heard from other friends, just in general beliefs, versus, the facts of it, and just to dive in, because it comes down to personal choice what we want to do. So it's going to be fun. Like I said, this one, introduction to it. I do have some news. I might just do this podcast, doing small bite sizes. I might just do it once a week. It depends on how time scale works. I usually do all 4. I do 4 of them at one time. So I might just do 1 or 2 and just kind of like stretch it out. And maybe just do 1 a week. We'll see how it works. That's just a timing, schedule, everything else. I'm kind of mixed up on a lot of things right now. I'm doing it right with the writing. And so just make it a little easier. And we'll see how it works. If I can keep it twice a week, great. If not, just let everyone know. But publishing. It's like the publishing world, it seems easy, right? Well, when we get into, I did this. When I started writing, like, oh, it's easy. You write the book. It's going to be so simple. It's just put it out there. You have a publisher, or you publish it yourself, or whatever, and it flies off the shelves. It's all good. Nowhere close to reality. Because I know that was like my mindset. I'm like, well, this is easy. I write the book. That's the hardest part, right? Writing the book's the hardest part. But then it's like there's so many pros and cons for however we want to do the publishing. What do we want to do? Do we want to take full control, as in self-publishing, and full responsibility? Or do we want to go, traditional and, be able to say, hey, I was published, and that's a great feather to cap. But, okay, we don't have full control. It's like we still do a lot of the work we do for self-published, but we don't have full control. And Vanity Press is just what it is. It's like they'll publish the work, they'll work with us, but they'll charge a hefty fee. So it all comes down to what do we want as authors, and that's what I want to explore with it. It's like it's our own goals. Like, what do we feel we're capable of? What do we want? Do we want to just say we're just published, and because we're published through this press, we can hold our head, we can be proud we had to pay for it or whatever, or we just want to throw it ourselves because we want full control, or we don't have the patience, or whatever. 100 different reasons on that. We don't have the patience. We want full control. We think it's easy. It's like what it is. Or traditional, where I'm with Simon & Schuster. I'm with this one, with that. We're with one of the big companies, or even independent ones. It's like you give up some control. We rely on them to help us develop our skills and our stories. And, we hope that with them behind us, we achieve our dream. And it's all, every way whichever avenue we go, we're trying to achieve our dream. That's what it comes down to. And if that's just to be published, great. It's published. We're a published author. He sells some copies, even better. If it's to be rich and famous, it's a longer road. And some of it's luck, some of it's just, it is what it is. It's just, I believe it was Stephen King said, I think in 2000, his book on writing, about 5% of authors made enough to support themselves and their families. And a friend of mine, this is about 5-6 years ago, she was writing an article about publishing. And she checked on her own studies in Amazon, when she would refresh a page, it would show about 1,500, she'd do it every 5 minutes. She did it several times. About 1,500 new books ever published every 5 minutes, give or take. And I think at the time, around 2000 or so, there's only about 2,000, 2,500 books in print total. So if that was then 5%, and now we have like 1,500 plus, every 5 minutes, not, fluctuating, even if it's a few hundred, whatever. That's a lot longer odds, at least in my mind. Just looking at, just eyeballing it, that would be a lot greater odds. Maybe down to 1 or 2%. I don't know the numbers, that's just my guesstimation. So it's hard, but with a big press behind us, it can be easier, especially if they believe that they have something with us. It depends. It depends on the community around us. Do we want to go walk into a support community? Do we like the community they're offering? Do we like the people we're working with? Do we want to create our own community? Are we already in a community? And is our next step? There's so many things to take in and consider. And it's going to be something we talk about next few podcasts. So I look forward to sharing everything I know with you guys, hearing your feedback and what you experience, what you know about it. And it's going to be fun. So let's get ready and have a good time. Until next time, everyone, thank you for your time, and I'll see you then. Bye.